Hello everyone, this is 9th lecture on Income Tax 2. In today's class, we are going to solve one sum on long-term capital gain. And the question is, Govind sold one of his residential house on 16/8/2019 for rupees 18 lakh. The house was purchased in year 2005-06 by his father for rupees 4,32,000 and it was transferred to Govind in year 2009-10, and on that day fair market value was rupees 6,50,000. The cost inflation index for year 2001-2 is 100, 2005-06 is 117, 2009-10 is 148 and 2019-20 is 289. You are asked to compute long-term capital gain of Mr. Govind for the assessment year 2021. In this sum, you are given some extra information compared to the previous sum. That is, in previous sum you were not given this fair market value, but in this question you are given fair market value as well as you are given cost inflation index for the respective years. In relation to fair market value, any assessee has option to either opt for actual cost of acquisition or fair market value of the asset only when if the asset is purchased before 2001 and 2. I repeat, any assessee, if the asset is purchased before 2001 and 2, then he has option of either opting for original cost of acquisition or fair market value, whichever is greater. In the sum, the assessee has acquired or purchased this residential house in year 2005-06. So if the asset is purchased after 2001-2, there is no question of opting for fair market value. We have to take original cost of acquisition only. But suppose instead of 2005-06, if the assessee has purchased the asset in year 1995 and 1996, in this situation we can opt for fair market value of the asset as on 2001 and 2. But as in this question, the asset is purchased or acquired after 2001-2, we have to take the original cost and we need not compare it with the fair market value. Let us solve the sum. First we take full value of consideration. Full value of consideration is nothing but the sale price of the asset. Mr. Govind has sold this asset for 18 lakh rupees. From this we have to deduct expenses on transfer. Expenses on transfer. We are not given any information relating to expenses of transfer, so it is nil. Next value that we get is net consideration. Net consideration, that is full value of consideration minus expenses of transfer is net consideration. From net consideration we have to deduct indexed cost of acquisition. As this sum is based on long-term capital asset and you are asked to find out long-term capital gain, we have to find out indexed cost of acquisition. Indexed cost of acquisition of the asset. How is index cost of acquisition is calculated? We have a formula, that is cost of acquisition into CII for the year of transfer divided by CII for the year of purchase or CII for year 2001-2, whichever is later. So let us find indexed cost of acquisition. Cost of acquisition given in the sum is 4,32,000. So 4,32,000 into CII for the year of transfer. Cost inflation index for the year of transfer, the asset is transferred in the year 2019-20 and cost inflation index as on that year is 289 divided by cost inflation index for the year of purchase or cost inflation index for 2001-2, whichever is later. So the asset is purchased in the year 2005-6. So either 2005-6 or 2001-2, whichever is later. So 2005-6 is the later date. Therefore, we have to take cost inflation index on that day is 117 divided by 117. So when you calculated 4,32,000 into 289 divided by 117, you get value 10,67,077. Now we got indexed cost of acquisition, that is 10,67,077. Now the balance is known as gross long-term capital gain. If you are given cost of improvement which is made after 2001-2, in that case even indexation for the cost of improvement is also made and even that amount is deducted from the net consideration. But as in this sum we are not given any information relating to cost of improvement, so that value we have to completely ignore in this sum. Now the balance remaining is known as gross long term capital gain. Gross long term capital gain is 7,32,923. 7,32,923. From this we have to deduct exemptions if any. We are not provided any information relating to exemptions, so this amount will be nil. Now we arrive to our final answer, that is net long term capital gain, which amounts to rupees 7,32,923. I hope you have understood the sum. In this sum you are given one additional information, that is fair market value. Any assessee can opt for fair market value option only if the asset is acquired after year 2001 and 2. If any assessee acquires asset before 2001 and 2, only then he can opt for fair market value. If the asset is acquired after 2001 and 2, he cannot opt for fair market value.